A pleasure to me all at last, and welcome back to Why Is That 3.0. And now, what I'm going to tackle on here is something a bit more towards HJN, as opposed to when I talked about HWH yesterday. But for now, let's just get on going with the next question here, which simply says, why is that you made a whole series on HJN all about food? To tell you the truth, during HJN back in 2022, I essentially went ahead and made an entire branch-off series. One that was, of course, directly in line with the original series. It wasn't its own standalone program that I put together. Much like with all other sorts of things that have happened HJN-wise that have extended over a long period of time. Like when I talked a bit about superheroes and supervillains. I've talked a bit about different car marks, and I've simply been putting it together with a lot of different HJN topics about Hot Wheels. The fact that it's been going for a long time though, I mean, some people might not be very interested in it anymore, but in all honesty, it doesn't matter too much to me. Because here at HJN Season 3, I've been more than determined to at least put together a nice series. And every now and then I happen to have a certain blockade of sorts where I don't have much creativity on hand. So what do? I typically take one topic, look into all the different branches that it has to offer. Like one day I'll probably talk about all the different tools that are used for construction, from hammers, chisels, saws, screwdrivers, etc. And I also have a couple of other ideas for Season 3 throughout the remainder of 2023, up until the point where I end the season with a whopping 964 episodes. Much, much more than what Season 1 had at 752 episodes. Of course, Season 2 was also pretty big, but not at all as big as the other two. Of course, since Season 3 is still ongoing at the moment, there are going to be a lot more of the Tiny Diecast Fury episodes that you'll be seeing, but I'm getting pretty close to the end. I'm just going to need at least another month, or two, if you will, before I eventually get back to regular HJN scheduled programming. And then after some time, I'll go into another crossover series, where I basically cross-reference different topics. And I basically take in one thing at a time and dig out all the branches. It's basically like if I uprooted a whole tree and just picked all the branches right off of it. And in this case, HJN has been getting pretty big, much like many things I've been doing here. And much like with all the different branchings that I've done with Gaming with Kaiju Force Neo, for instance, Honest J Nowak sure is going to be a huge series in and of itself. And it has gotten some pretty valuable attention. Very valuable attention. But going forward, I'm definitely going to have a lot of things planned for Season 3, and I've even gotten a pretty big notebook to keep going with it as long as possible. I do plan on having a few more seasons after this though, and then after some time, who knows what'll happen then. But for the most part, when I basically did Honest J Nowak, and I just took it to a whole different level by bringing in Season 3, and starting off strong with several different topics, then going into the first crossover of the whole entire season, in which that I spent 70 days putting together different episodes and eating different foods. But to tell you the truth, this was actually something that I spent even more time working on, because the first episode itself happened during 2020, a time which has been very debatable amongst people whom have had bad outlooks for the year or good outlooks for the year. I probably would suspect that if it wasn't for anything that happened in 2020, that I'm more than sure that there wouldn't be a huge problem like what we're dealing with today. Lots of problems. And even if they are going to take years and years to recover from, just as they've originally anticipated, who even knows where we'll go from here on out? I could sure tell you that a lasting impression has sure been made, and I'll probably never, ever unremember it. Anyways, though, HJN itself, in this particular series, with 70 episodes, 70 different snacks that I basically put together for a series I call Snacker Attacker, started by simply grabbing a open bag of Cheetos Puffs from the side of the chair that I was sitting on right here. And wouldn't you know, a little over 2 years later, I still kind of feel that I might need to have a bit of a snack to attack. And so, wouldn't you know, I find another kind of popular snack out here, Sour Patch Kids. I almost feel like that maybe there should be a sequel to Snacker Attacker, like Super Snack Attacker or something. But I'm not really going to go into that much detail on it, simply because I already got plans for HJN Season 3 going forward. Anyways, though, I sure hope that you are continuing to enjoy the many answers to the many timeless questions that people have been wondering about me for this whole time. Considering that 2 whole seasons worth of questions wasn't enough, I sure do hope that WiseDad 3.0 does in fact have as much value as the other 2 have. But I will say that for 2023 and onwards, there's definitely going to be a lot of things to expect. Going forward, from here on out, Snacker Attacker Part 2, probably, I don't really know how it's going to go down, but if you want to see more, go down to my channel to make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.